Well, good morning from a very damp and miserable Buttermere in the northern English Lake District. I'm here today with my friend Robin. We decided to come out despite the weather forecast, which isn't very nice because it's dramatic. The sun may break through later, fingers crossed, but even if it doesn't, we're going to have a walk around the lake itself, Buttermere, because there's lots of interesting material, trees, paths, waterfalls, etc., as you can see, and I'm sure we can make something of this. Now, whilst I'm not going to be breaking out the tripod for a while because there's nothing really worthwhile setting up for, I'm going to probably take a few snaps with the Olympus EM5 of the scene behind me, because there's some nice woodland up there. Still a little bit of low cloud clinging on as well. That makes it quite dramatic. I'm going to be quite honest with you, the weather is bloody awful. This is not what I want to do, but I've got no choice. I'm here. It's taken 3 hours for myself and Robin to get up in the car. You know, it's a lot of driving and we're not going to waste it by just moping and sitting in the cafe, although we were in the cafe earlier. Look at the scenery behind me. It's absolutely fantastic in terms of colour. It's absolutely beautiful up here. We were here this time last year raining. We actually got some nice shots, so I'm going to have to press on and get on with it. Well, it may be wet, but that does give some nice recession. Look at those mountains in the background, and I've got a little tree on its own in the foreground, so I'm going to set up, handheld again, being lazy, and I'm going to try and get some of the mountains in the background with this beautiful green tree in the foreground. Well, truth be told, I'm not feeling particularly creative or inspired at the moment. In fact, I'm not taking any pictures at the moment because it's chucking it down, it's blowing a gale. Every time I venture out, my lens gets covered in water and I have to wipe it off. I'm not really feeling up to it at the moment, but this is what happens on landscape trips, especially in Britain, in the summer. So, I just hope it clears up. We've still got plenty of time because it's light till quite late, but right at the moment, it's just not doing it for me. Okay, I'm sad to say we're temporarily admitting defeat, having walked part way around the lake, because it's chucking it down, blowing a gale, and it's freezing. So we're going to head back to the cafe, get a bit of Wi-Fi, check the weather forecast, and possibly head off back towards Keswick, where there are a few nice locations within the forests, some trees, a bit more shelter, a bit more cover, maybe a waterfall or two, who knows. But really, I don't want to slog around here anymore, so hands up, it's beaten us. Okay, we've moved on. Had something to eat in the cafe down by Buttermere, and we've moved on back to Derwentwater near Keswick. And I'm here, and I'm going to start shooting soon with this amazing light over towards Friars Crag. And I've got the fells behind me, which are now starting to light up, thankfully. How about that for a view? That's far more of what I want to shoot. I've got this beautiful foreground of these white rocks, and I have the sun now catching the distant mountains. I'm going to break out the camera and start doing some serious shooting. Well, here I am. I'm set up on the side of the shore now. I've got a typical wide angle, about 28mm on. I've got a polarizer and a 2-stop soft grad just to tame those highlights. Got a nice bit of foreground in there with these white rocks and the distant hills. It looks really nice, and thankfully I'm finally getting something worth shooting. Well, I've had to come out the wind because it's so blustery. I can't concentrate, and also I can't do any vlogging, so I'm just making my way around to the edge of a little outcrop here, and I'm going to get some decent views across towards Catbells and the other peaks around Derwentwater. Well, I've set myself up now with another shot. I've got a fairly wide angle view looking across towards the mountains in the distance, and I've gone for a long exposure. I've actually put a 10 stop on, so I'm getting around about 15 seconds exposure now, and that is just to smooth out that very choppy water and get a little bit of movement into the sky. Now, I do actually have my infrared camera with me today, and while I'm here and there's some good skies, I'm going to try shoot some movement. I may actually try it with a 10 stop as well, something I've not done before. Got some lovely infrared going on in these trees behind me. They're at the perfect angle to the sun to make the most of the foliage. Well, we've decamped from Derwentwater and we've driven down about nearly an hour towards Coniston. We've just gone beyond Coniston and we're at Kelly Hall Tarn, and Robin's actually spotted a Land Rover dealership, so he's gone in there, so I hope he doesn't get carried away, because the photography's not been great. He might need cheering up. But we're going to have a little wander. I've not been here before. It's behind me, a little path, and that takes us up to the tarn, and I've seen a few photographs and a few vlogs from here. Looks quite promising. Well, we've got here, and it was all a 2-minute walk. I'm all for 2-minute walks from the car, and it's quite a nice little scene, though I will be honest, the light is rubbish, but you can shoot it, turn it to black and white, use infrared. Certainly use this as a recce for next time, because it's such a convenient location, and it does shorten the trip back because we're not far from the main road home. Well, setting wise for this shot, it's quite straightforward. I have just a general wide angle on the end of my zoom, and I'm shooting about f7.1. Got most of the tarn in and the mountains in the background. It's very straightforward, really. Well, that's Kelly Hall Tarn, and that's me for the day. I've had a good day. It's been a bit mixed. It's certainly been a day of two halves, and I've not got the shots I wanted, but I have got shots. That's the main thing. And I'll be back again on the next trip. I do hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed being here, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. This is the reality of vlogging.